Super Bowl 59. The Eagles are going to Super Bowl 59 and unleash on the Washington Commanders. Did they actually think they had a shot at the link in Philadelphia between the bulletin board material and that second game they thought they had us because they beat Kenny Pickett going to the playoffs and you dethrone a practice squad defense in Detroit? Are you out of your mind right now? We have a lot to discuss here, so let's get straight into it.
A killer buried, but not dead.
Darren, we better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Hope you're having a fantastic day today. This video is sponsored by BetUS, so definitely go check them out if you guys have not. I can't even live within myself right now from what happened. I felt really very, very proud of this game, okay? I was very confident going into this game, okay? That second meeting with Washington, I think it really got into their heads. The Eagles kept their head down. They kept working, okay? And this is what you get when Jalen Hurts stays in the game, the entire game, with a run game where the Commanders are one of the worst teams against the run. And not only that, this was one of the most balanced games I have ever seen from Jalen Hurts, okay? And this game plan with Kellen Moore and Nick Sirianni, this was the best distribution game I have ever seen. Okay, the best distribution type game I have ever seen from this team. Okay, they looked very balanced. They gave the ball to everybody. I mean, they didn't really hone in on one guy. They gave everybody a shot. Besides Jahan Dotson, they gave everybody a shot here. Okay, Hurts was 20 for 28, 246 yards, 71.4 completion percentage. Hurts was using his legs. And trust me, when you face a team for the third time, of course, it's hard to hide things. It's hard not to show specific things. Okay. And I felt like, yeah, there's some things that, obviously the defense, the defense read, and I get all that. I get it. But the start of the game where the defense was actually getting pressure on Jaden Daniels, they made him look like they made him look like what he looked like in the first game when they faced off, and a statue in the pocket. The pressure was really good there. And then, the Eagles make a stop there, which is great. And then, you get the kick return. Will Shipley returns the ball to the 40-yard line, which was absolutely fantastic. And then, you score with Saquon, literally the first play of the game, the first offensive play on a toss. And this was a play that we never really seen before. And it's nice to see that they were running Saquon on the outside. It wasn't just inside zone, inside zone, inside zone all the time. Saquon Barkley obviously he was only 15 for 18 in this game, 3 touchdowns on this game. So he didn't even hit the 145 rushing yards, area in this game. So I thought he did really well. I forgot his exact numbers. I don't know why I didn't write him here, but he had a fine game. But the thing is, the limitations on Barkley, and obviously there might have been a couple sequences where we were like, dude, they need to run the ball a little bit more. There was a couple passing sequences that worked really well, and then coming out of the second half, they didn't really look too good. Where they start to really fade in this game was obviously Jake Elliott when he missed a 54-yard field goal. I'm still very nervous about Jake. Okay, I don't know if I trust him over 40, over 50 yards in this game, but every other kick he was perfectly fine. So when we need him the most, it is what it is. So the Eagles gave Washington half the field. They missed a 54-yard field goal. And when Jane Daniels was on offense, okay, they did a fake punt. That was so obvious they were doing a fake punt, and that really got them on the Eagles side of the field. So they literally had to take things out of their back pocket to really stop this defense going forward. I think Washington shot themselves in the foot a bunch of times on penalties when they were too aggressive, and this is what's going to happen in a playoff game. Things are going to be seen, and when they're not seen in other games, players weren't kicked out of games for talking trash, which was absolutely ridiculous. You know what I mean? So I thought Goddard had a really good game in this game. With obviously they were using him on end arounds, like they were using him in different ways. Like even they used the tight end screen a couple times, but some of these like usually on end arounds use like a fast receiver. They're using a tight end on end arounds, which on short yardage, which really isn't a bad thing either because I mean he could push for extra yards going into this game. Dallas Goddard got me a little nervous going into this game because he missed like a couple days of practice with the ankle. So you know what I mean he was good to go in this game. Now, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown put on a clinic in this game, which was absolutely fantastic. I was sitting there waiting, okay? That rookie cornerback, son of star, whatever his name is, that rookie cornerback that literally got burnt after literally just couldn't hang on with A.J. Brown. Lattimore couldn't hold on with A.J. Brown either in this game. He was 6 for 96, okay? That little fight that happened. Every time there's a little fight in Philadelphia, a little tiny fight has to break out, and it ravages up the crowd. It just makes it so much better for the team to fight even more. So the Eagles fought right there, which was great. That AJ was just getting in their head a little bit. So I don't think they could even cover AJ in this game. And he had a touchdown as well in this game. Devontae Smith was 4 for 45. He had a brilliant sideline catch with his tippy toes, which was great. He had a couple good catches in this game. So obviously, not a big game for both guys, but one of them did really well. And I thought, like I said, distribution was absolutely fantastic. But this defense for the Philadelphia Eagles, I mean, you literally, guys were just amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. Oren Burks, I have to give so much praise to him, filling in for Nakobe Dean. Okay, and the 2 games he's played so far, Oren Burks has 20 tackles, 2 forced fumbles. Okay, he's only allowed 45 yards in coverage. And that's surprising because I thought that was going to be a big weak spot, okay, for Oren Burks in this game. Okay, for Oren Burks in general as just a player that he is. Because he played a lot of special teams, never really got the opportunity. He's obviously a veteran. He's been in the Super Bowl. He's been in the playoffs before. He played KC when he was on the Niners a couple years ago. Okay, so he's got some unfinished business. But I think Oren Burks really has filled in very well for the Philadelphia Eagles so far. Okay, I'm going to be jumping all over the place here. Jalen Carter, man, he got me scared on that, when he got the wind knocked out of him, whatever, later in the game. He got me a little scared. I was like, you need Jalen Carter going forward, so thank God. Nolan Smith had a big sack in the 4th quarter. They actually had Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff actually got some snaps in the 4th quarter, which was absolutely amazing. So, he actually had like a pressure or two in the game. So I know that was when I think they were taking players out really slowly when the Eagles got that extra lead right there. But I thought defensive line, I thought Sweat played good. I thought the whole line played absolutely amazing. Jalix Hunt a little quiet, got some pressures he got a couple pressures in the game. So I thought Jomo had a couple sequences. He had a couple good tackles there. So I mean, Jordan Davis had a sack on Jaden Daniels. I didn't even know it was him at one point, right? Jaden Daniels was just moving backwards. He doesn't know where to go. I thought containment was really good in this game at times. And I got to say, like, Jordan Davis had a sack there, and that was just like, wow. And we all know that, he's not much of a pass rusher anymore. Fangio doesn't really look at him that way. So I thought he did a really good job. The cornerbacks I thought did pretty good too. Quinyon Mitchell, okay. Who was the best receiver for the Commanders? I think it was Zach Ertz, realistically. I think it was because he was open on a lot of the, when the Eagles started to play off a little bit with the lead, which they did at the end of the game, Zach Ertz started to get a lot. I think he had 94 yards. I think Zach Ertz had 94 yards in this game. So that's a lot. That was more than Terry McLaurin, I think. I'm trying to figure out. Terry McLaurin had the 30-something yard touchdown, I think, in the 2nd quarter, something like that. And Quinyon Mitchell, okay, they lined up on each other 36 out of 48 times, okay? Terry McLaurin, okay. Quinyon Mitchell only gave up 1 reception for 7 yards on 4 targets. 1 reception, 7 yards. Getting Quinyon Mitchell back this week from that shoulder injury was big for this defense. There's no doubt about it. And I got to say, Cooper DeJean is one of the smartest fucking players I have ever seen. One of the smartest players I have ever seen. His football IQ is off the charts. off the charts. Sees things before they happen. The screenplay, him going, making the tackle, blowing up the play was absolutely fantastic in this game. Okay. Zach Bond, 12 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and a forced fumble. Okay. Pay this man already. Get this done. Seriously. Because I am ready to go with him. Zach Bond has got to be an Eagle for the rest of his career. I think we all know this at this point. I thought Slay played pretty good. Jumped out of the game one time, and usually he does, and gave up the 2-point conversion to Zacchaeus. So I didn't think he had his best day, but he was fine. I think realistically he was fine. He gave up some plays on some coverages and stuff like that, but I think Slay's been pretty authentic. He's looked like his young self the last couple games in the playoffs, and it's been absolutely fantastic. The big thing this defense did, the defense is the most dangerous. I mean, forget the offense scoring points, bro, off turnovers. Special teams getting turnovers. I mean, turnovers. When this defense needs to get a turnover, okay, they got it. Okay, you were literally going into a quarter here. Okay, it was what? You score a touchdown with A.J. Brown, Lattimore on coverage. You couldn't get the 2-point conversion. And you know what? It sucks when you don't get the 2-point conversion, can't get points there. Okay, it was in the first quarter. Okay, Mick Nichols fumbles the ball on kick return. The Eagles get it back, okay, with 1:34 left. Okay, and A.J. Brown gets a late touchdown there. Barkley was hit late out of bounds, which caused another penalty. I think it was like a 3rd and 15 because the Eagles did get a false start there. And then that was pretty much it. They ran with Barkley on 3rd down. They got the penalty and they gave him a 1st down continued thing. So I think, Commanders really did shoot themselves in the foot defensively, but they couldn't, the Commanders were outcoached. They were not physical. The Eagles, of all the bulletin board material that was going on in this game, yeah, 100%, dude. A lot was going on here. Quinyon Mitchell had a pick at the end of the game, which was a 2nd pick in in the postseason. And Will Shipley got in at the end of the game, and he had a 58-yard run and a touchdown today. Will Shipley got his first touchdown inside, which was great for the Philadelphia Eagles, great for him, and could potentially be your number 2 going forward. I know that Kenneth Gainwell got hurt later in this game. I know he got hurt later in this game, but I thought he, I don't know what's going to happen with him. I don't know if anything serious about. I didn't hear anything serious about it, but we'll see what happens later on. Okay. I was very emotional at the end of this game because I can't believe we actually did it. We actually made it back. Because this team is doubted every single week, and I don't think it's fair that the Eagles have to beat a narrative every single week because this quarterback just never gets the appreciation that he does deserve every single game. And I'm talking from the heart because it's very sad that the Eagles, this quarterback has to go through this. It gets me choked up a little bit because I hate that. I hate that he has to, mentally go through this, and this is what he lives for. People doubting him, that fuels him at the end of the day. The difference between 22 to 24 is a better assembled football team from Howie Roseman. It's a better assembled football team. Much better. Okay? Vic Fangio. Kellen Moore. This defense, the 2 big differences you have going into this Super Bowl against Kansas City now, since that's the updated version of this video, okay? You have a defense that's the best defense in the playoffs. The number 1 defense in the league. The number 1 defense. And you have the number 1 rushing attack. You have Saquon Barkley. Those are the 2 biggest differences from 22 going into the 24 Super Bowl now. This team is unstoppable. We have to stop thinking about they, and we need to start thinking about we. That's where I'm at right now, going forward. I mean, I've been like this. I feel like this team could beat anybody. The second seed gave us home field advantage. Thank you, Washington, for giving us home field advantage in the playoffs. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Joe Witt, for those kind words on you're going to hit Jalen Hurts like a running back if he runs upfield. Thank you for the bulletin board material. Thank you for all the stupid NFL outlets that just made themselves look like idiots. And this is nothing against the Washington Commanders. They will be a better team going forward. They will have cap space. They will have draft capital. They will do their thing. They were not supposed to be in the fucking playoffs. Simple as that. Tampa gave you nothing. Tampa gave the better game. Detroit, you played their practice squad defensively. You faced the practice squad, and that was about it. They were overhyped going into this game against Philadelphia. But guess what they do? They bring up the second game against the Philadelphia Eagles. They beat Kenny Pickett and say, we beat the number one defense. But realistically, they know for a fact they lost that game because the Eagles defense was on the field the entire time. No defense is going to survive in a game like that. And they celebrated that shit every single day. And literally they looked at Philadelphia in the playoffs and said, if we have to play Philadelphia, that is going to be a cakewalk. And that's what they did. That is what they did. The fucking Commanders are losing in this game. And the commentators are like, look at Jaden Daniels on how calm and poised he is. Like, it's just like the glaze was so glazed over. And the Eagles scored 55 points. 55. Not 25. 55. Not 25-23. 55 points. A 50 burger in an NFC championship game. The most high scored. I don't think a team's ever scored so high in this game. 7 rushing touchdowns. 7, bro. I'm not even kidding. You gave up over 230 yards rushing with over 33 carries in this game. That's the shit we're talking about, dude. You give us a third. What did I say after that second game? What did I say? I said, I'm telling you right now, you get that. You get that third opportunity. If Washington gets us for a third time in the playoffs, it's done. It's over with. It's over. They're finished. That's what I said. They're finished. I was not worried about this fucking game today. Okay. What makes everybody worried about and obviously if you're nervous, I get it. Like it's normal, like for a playoff game. Like, of course I was nervous all day. I was nervous because I want the game to be over with because I hate waiting in these situations. Okay. Hate waiting in these situations. But this is where we're at right now. They wanted us at our best with our starting quarterback in the game, not Kenny Pickett. And you got it. And look what happened. There are guys that talk shit to say shit for no reason. I don't get why people just can't be realistic with shit. Like, did they actually think they were going to walk into Philadelphia and win this game? Like, did they really take that second game that seriously? That the Eagles weren't going to remember that and all the shit that was being said? This is why you have a team that's not used to being in the position they're in, and they do a lot of this. And the Eagles knew they were doing a lot of that. Okay? And that's what happened. 55-23, bro. They didn't win in overtime. They didn't win by a point. That's where we're at. And we deserve to be where we're at because of how we play. Simple as that. The best defense in the NFL, the best rushing attack in the NFL. This quarterback played fantastic. So I watched the game. I watched the KC Bills game. I relaxed for a little bit, kind of clear my mind, clear my head a little bit, and made this video later than usual. But I feel really good, guys. The Eagles now go. They take a week off. They have a bye week. Much needed rest. A lot of rumors are going to happen this week. And get ready for Another revenge game. Because this is our year and this is our time. So, let me know what you guys think about this game in general, guys. About everything. Doesn't matter what it is. I want to hear what was your favorite part of this game? What do the Eagles still need to improve on? And, just in general, did Washington walk into a buzzsaw in this game in Philadelphia? Make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you like the video because it helps out tremendously. Thank you for all the support and for a fantastic regular season and playoffs. Now you're going to the biggest game, the biggest stage, and the Eagles start the revenge tour once again in a couple of weeks. So, love you all. Fly, Eagles, fly. Whew! I'm ready. Ready, man. I'm so happy. You guys enjoy, man. I'll see you guys in the next one. Shake squad up, follow side. Peace out.